All right. It's getting towards the middle of January. Less than 3 months, more than 2 months here. And it's starting to look like something. Planted a lot of fava beans. A whole bunch of them. They're coming up nicely. I've swaled, put those berms, put swales on most of the land, maybe 60%. Done a lot of rain bars for the road. Some flowers, some of these little lupins. There'll be a lot, whatever's not favas or something specific and special will be lupins. Lots and lots of fruit trees, whole bunches of fruit trees, all pretty well planted out with fruit trees. There's room for more, but a lot of citrus. I gave the best sun to the citrus. I put some avocados down all through there on the edges. There's a bit of an erosion concern there, so I've put avocados and loquats there. There might be other trees that I can think of that sink deep roots quickly, but that's not funny, and I don't know how I'm ever gonna fill that up. I suppose I won't, but it's not nice. It's not a rock face, it's just dirt. So this is what I'm standing on. I'd like to keep this land up here rather than have it wash away down there. So I think those are all favas, haven't come in yet. These are some of the first that I planted, knowing that erosion control here was important. You can see the ginger is all got fruit on it, mature flowers. These are bigger lupins, the kind you can eat. Call them tremoso. I love them. They're 16% protein. Some of the berms are more like this. This has lettuce and bok choy and stuff in it. And these ones will have a taro in the bottom, generally, when I can get it. There's 10 grapes in this little bit here. So that's going to be a big, huge arbor. There's a mango. It's not looking pretty, but they get huge in Hawaii. We'll see how big they get here. It's kind of subtropical. Got a lot of physalis and some ashwagandha. This is the #1 nasty weed. I'm lucky to not have Bermuda grass, but there's tons of this guy. And there's examples where there's just a coating of baby plants. So here's how I begin rough and then mold it with the hands or the big hoe. So the enchada. So you see, sometimes it's just so many. Kind of every single seed does its thing. Here's a black sapote, chocolate sapote, one of my favorite fruits in the world. It's like a big chocolate custard. Lucky that it grows here. It's kind of tropical, but So you can see here, there's some land that's not very developed. Just this bit of hilly land that's not very developed. There's the grapes through there. You can barely see them. You can barely see anything. And these corn bits have consolidated most of them. And that was yesterday's work. Starting to get up to the road now with the berms, with the swales. And all through here is avocados from a pit. Any avocado to me is a good avocado. So there's 15 in here, maybe 30 all together on the upper bit. You can see the fence. Put the fence up. Trying to consolidate the compost into big piles like that. This fence has bougainvillea on it, and in about 3 years I suppose it'll be pretty well covered with bougainvillea, which will become quite a beauty and security fence and privacy. There's decoratives all along the main road. You see the road goes down to the end of the land with one little curve in there. It's been a few days since rain, but still can have standing water. I suppose as there's more plants, it'll wick that water up. There's a pile of gravel. I haven't spread it around yet. It's volcanic. That'll grip the car well. For now, I'm just continuing parking along the side of the road. There's very little traffic here. So here's one of the advanced avocados. In a couple years, they'll look like something. You see how much wind happens here? It just whips everything around, beats it up. You can see it in the leaves. There's a coffee plant with no leaves. Wind comes ripping down the hill here. I suppose I have various hedges through here, like one hedge at the road, just below the road, and then another hedge fairly soon after that, and then another hedge, maybe that's good enough. Really dense. Suppose the upper ones will be Camellia japonica and maybe Camellia sinensis, real tea. And then, because it's a beast as well, it's really thick. And then the lower ones will be coffee. Just get a lot of coffee, just really pretty plants, all three. And at least two of them produce something. So you can see the quality of the soil. It looks like not much, but you can see these bok choys. I just stuck them in there. They're not doing too bad. Not doing too bad. These physalis already got some fruit with hardly any leaves, just getting beaten up. There's a loquat tree. Just looks like nothing. Suppose in April it'll look fine. And then there's how it goes. On the bottom of that swale, I begin the new one. And then I spread seeds in it, and then I tamp it down nicely with my hands. And it ends up in looking like that. So, as you can see, tons of favas. And they'll sink their roots deep enough to hold the soil through the torrential rains, which are frequent. I'm throwing all the stones into a concentrated spot, and then they'll all go on the road. Yep, there's more things than I can say. Don't want to get too boring. Yep, there's the grapes once again. So, starting to look like something. Starting to look like something now. At the very bottom, I won't bother to go down there for this video. There's a lot of asparagus I've transplanted in vegetable beds. Yeah, let's go down. Let's go down. These berms are what I've got to do in the first year, working really fast. And sometimes I make it really deep. If you can see that. And often they blow out. Well, not often, but too often, more often than I would prefer. They just blow out, and then if it affects the next one and then the next one, the water load gets heavier and heavier, and it's just it could be a horrible river. I've avoided that so far. I've been back always the next day after torrential rains. But once there's plants really sinking their roots, you can see it blow out there, and it's gone to the second one and the third one, and then it gets stopped on the fourth one, which is a really deep one. See, that's a mess. It's really loose soil, so it absolutely needs plants to hold the roots. So here's my favorite style. Is nice deep paths, so it's pretty ergonomic for reaching the bed, for working the bed. Bunch of garlic, onions, big long beds with nice paths. Sometimes a keyhole bed once in a while, but usually a bed you can walk through the whole way. You see, they just step up, and all the stones that I find go onto the road eventually. And there's the nursery, a lot of good stuff there. And you see the last few days, asparagus beds. Asparagus galore still in there to transplant. So that's the first area, and now with mostly asparagus in there, and it's getting gradually transplanted through here. This bed's got full of asparagus. These few beds are actually carrots, and these beds will carry asparagus. That bed, the gray bed there, has asparagus, and they're just expanding down. And you can see there's quite some room down here. One pineapple, just found it, jammed it in the ground. Here is the original bed that I began in May. I took it away from the corn guy. Just a modest little amount, with that whole bit being corn, and then look at it now. The birds have mostly gotten them. There's like a band of 40 birds, or probably several, and they come around and go nuts. Pigeons, I mean. Doves, you see? They're landing. And then there'll be like 40 doves and then 60 little guys, sparrows and whatnot. And today, for the first time, I saw an orange cat. And they can do some damage, but I don't really mind. I know I love them. They poop, that's nice. See, they're all the time, and I've never heard such beautiful bird sound. So some nice radishes, and I've eaten a lot of kale, collard greens, a whole lot of collard greens I've eaten so far already. Purple broccoli, doesn't look like much, but it's not getting that much light there. So then this is still got plenty of frontier, plenty to work with. Right there will be the greenhouse, and then I'll put some dwellings here so they can get a view of the sunset and the hill there. This we'll see if this oak tree is alive or not. If it's dead, that's a good medium for mushrooms. Oh, and this bamboo, I intend to cut it down every year. And this where the garden is now will be a bamboo staging ground. A lot of it'll get just burned into biochar, but there'll be a lot of trellising and some light construction with it. And then I could go into business, make trellises for others, sell them at the market, and make fencing and rolls of fencing and all of that. I might, but it's good to know there's plenty of trellis material. But like all of this, which doesn't have such a strong foothold, I'd like to yank it all out. That's quite a task, and just leave this, and then cut it down every single year, and either burn it. All those leaves get, they just fall and they make nice compost. And then the woodier parts can burn and become nice biochar. So there she is. Less than 3 months, one person, ton of work already. And the land's fairly stable for torrential rains. You can see all those crooked trees. I just jammed a canna iberica in the ground really quickly. Later it'll be two proper bamboo straight up. I'll pull that canna out because it could root. They'll probably root, so I got to pull them all out. But I just did it really fast before an intense wind, 100-kilometer-an-hour wind. So there she is, 18 minutes. Hope you're enjoying your day, and blessings to you.